Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's everybody doing today? Happy Saturday. Hey Nerdy John, how are you? I can see that message up, so at least chat's working. Testing, testing. Let me know if I sound too loud, too soft. 1, 2, 3. It'll be better when the game balance comes in. Happy Saturday. I'm doing great. This is an experiment. Hey Nerdy John, how are you? I can see that message up, so at least chat's working. Testing, testing. Let me know if I sound too loud, too soft. 3. It'll be better when the game balance comes in. Happy Saturday. I'm doing great. One of the things in the experiment that I'm curious of what will happen is this is an experiment. There is a language filter option. I can see that message up. Is a feedback loop? Ooh, interesting. Testing, testing. Let me know if I sound too loud, too soft. Thank you for letting me know. That might mean it'll be better when the game balance comes in. Happy Saturday. I'm doing great. How about that? Is that better? Or is there still a loop? Is there an echo? I'll keep talking to see if the audio sounds better. Sounds better? Alright, thank you. Takes a few seconds for it to happen. Okay. Okay, we'll see if it does it. Like I said, this is a test stream. We're gonna work out the kinks yet. Normal streaming schedule, for those of you who don't know, is normally Sunday and Tuesday evenings. And for some of you, for the first time, like, hey, average viewer, how are you today? For the longest time, for about 2 years, I was streaming on Twitch, something fun on the side, had nothing to do with YouTube, would just be playing games on my own, having fun. But over the past few months, as Twitch has exploded in popularity given the quarantine, one thing I can't help but notice is that there have been changes for, in my opinion, not the best on that platform. And the decisions they've made have deviated far more than what I think that platform wants. Like, what they want out of the people that stream on it versus what the people who stream on it may or may not want. Like, my needs are different from everyone else. I just wanted a nice, quiet, cool place to chill out, hang out, play games alongside other people. And Twitch is basically like, hey, unless you're like a partner, we literally treat you as like crap under our boot. And I was thinking, man, that really kind of sucks. The environment's becoming a lot less interesting. It's becoming like high-profile TV, where it's not very helpful. And quite frankly, it's becoming harder to connect to other people that share similar interests. And at that point, YouTube gaming was popular-ish. It never was really super popular. But I thought, wow, maybe it's better over here now. So what we're doing is, because I'm mad at Twitch, and I'm probably swearing it off, not against anybody who likes Twitch streaming. For everyone who loves it, great. I still watch people on there. But for me, if I just want to chill out, play games, and have fun with similar-minded people, I think I may just want to start hanging out here. So we're going to see how that goes. Anyway, one of the things that was on my docket that I wanted to play was Control DLC. I love Control. If you haven't played Control, it came out in 2019. It's made by Remedy, the same people who made Quantum Break, but more so Alan Wake, an excellent game. It's like playing a live-action, not live-action, but, you know, an actual video game version of the Twilight Zone. It was so well written, kind of janky in controls, but really fun game, great experience. Control, fantastic, still a little janky on the engine, but great game overall. One of the best games that came out last year. If you haven't played it, highly recommend it. A lot of people compare it to, you know, vibes of X-Files or SCP or things like that. But one of the cool things in the final DLC that came out a couple months ago that I never had a chance to play because I'm in the middle of moving, was AWE, Altered World Events, and it connects directly to Alan Wake. So, it's been a while since I played this game. We're gonna see how it goes. But I did everything I could in this game. I did all the side quests, collected all the things. One thing will be interesting to note that they added for YouTube streaming is language filter. And you can kind of add whatever you want. I took their default, remove all bad words kind of thing. So anybody who tries to drop like F-bombs and stuff like that in chat are going to be basically... I don't know what it looks like. Does it just put asterisks over them? Does it wipe the message? I don't know. I left it on the aggressive side because that way if anybody says anything... First of all, if you have to drop F-bombs to prove a point or to say something, you're probably not that articulate with your words to begin with. There are better ways and more constructive ways to say whatever you got. But I think for the benefit of everyone, I'm just going to leave it on there. And if there's a word that comes up that somebody's like, hey, I'm trying to say this, but the language filter is kicking it out, we'll treat it on a case-by-case basis. On YouTube, for better or for worse, I do know that they do have the language filter options that also scan what I'm saying. You probably have heard of it from other creators, where if you say any sort of profanity in the first like 30 seconds of a video, it gets demonetized or something similar like that. That's actually pretty true. Yeah, try testing a couple of really bad words, Nerdy John. Just type it. I'm not gonna ban you, but I'm curious to see what the chat filter will do. Oh, dude, I would love that, average viewer. If it turned the swears into just random words, I would love that. That would be so good. I wish it did that. I wonder if it just removes the message, like you can't type it. But yeah, if it could make fun of the people who typed it, that would actually be funnier. One of my best ways of dealing with aggressive people is A, public embarrassment, or B, word judo, where you just kind of have them fall under the weight of their own words. It's letting you type it. Nothing's coming up, though. Like, try sending something. Like, I don't see anything in the chat. Granted, I'm looking at Streamlabs' version of Twitch, or YouTube chat, so I don't know. I'm checking right now to see if on the YouTube side it says... if it blocked anything. It doesn't look like it has. Like, just try typing a bunch of common swear. I think I allowed it to say, like, damn or something like that, or hell, like, PG words, you know? The words that I think I kind of limited were things like fuck, shit, you know, things like that, where it's like, okay, there are more constructive ways of saying things. And also, I'm trying to think of where people would use that as an attack to someone else, because I don't mind if you ever attack a game. You can say whatever you want about a game, but if you attack someone else, either in chat or me, that's just not cool. Kill, I think kill was another word that I think I allowed, but I don't know if I allowed it. I don't remember what it is. Try typing the word kill. I think I allowed it because there are words, you know, where we kill things. This is all an experiment. This is all for science. So let me see what I type and no one else. Oh, so it auto-mutes you. Or something like that. So you can see your message, but none of us can see your message. You know, I'm actually kind of okay with that. So it auto-mutes people. You know, I'm actually kind of okay with that, because that way they're shouting in a vacuum. They're being like, F you, Nerdy John, your opinion's shit. Suck on a ball sack, you know, things like that. And like, they're shouting at you, and you literally can't hear them, so... they're just getting worked up over nothing. I'm actually okay with that.
Did you ask where she was going?
Shelly, it's always for science. How are you? I wonder how this game... I'm running this on last gen tech, is what we have to call it now. I wonder how this game runs on modern day tech.
She turns up.
Because here's the thing. Control... like, a lot of the times when they show the tech demos for the modern gen stuff like Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. They like to show Spider-Man, like to show Gears of War 5. Well, those games were already optimized for those systems. What I'm more interested in seeing are games that were not optimized for those systems, like Control, which is chunky. It chugs during like loading. It chugs during high parts during combat where there's a ton of particles and artifacts everywhere. It chugs. Or something like Destiny that has like 2-minute load times. Or something like Anthem that has like 5-minute load times. Show me those really poorly optimized games and how much better they run on the modern day tech, and that will convince me. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of games on PS5 have been crashing. Like, even just putting like I hear a lot of rest system crashes. I hear a lot of certain games crash more than others. Like Miles Morales has a lot of bugs all over it. Things like that. Oh, it's Umbra. Hey, Umbra. Okay, so now I know Umbra. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna call you Umbra. That's why I keep telling people, like, to get any day one console, you're basically just you're paying them to be a beta tester, because the next wave of systems that come out, that's going to be the games that have a lot of their kinks worked out. Just play through it on Series X this week. What did you play? Did you play Destiny or did you play Anthem? Yeah, Spider-Man prop hunt. I heard about that. Where it'll just turn to like random assets, like a t-shirt or like a park bench or like a towel or random stuff, a brick. Ironically, if that was intentional, if they could play that off like, oh, that's actually Mysterio doing crazy things, that would actually be okay. If they were cool, they would have said, oh, you think it's a glitch, huh? This is the new DLC. Alright. Investigate the sector elevator. Where is that? Executive. Where is this mysterious elevator? Oh, just a regular sector elevator? Okay, yeah. Let me know if the game sounds too soft. So Mythos was good recaps. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate them.
We should check this out.
The Xbox always features their names around concepts, and I'm okay with it. Like, instead of calling it the Dreamcast 2, they called it the Xbox. It was basically the Dreamcast 2, though. Because remember, Microsoft built the Dreamcast. Basically. And after Sega, died after 2 years, then Microsoft's like, well, we know how to make a console, so let's just make our own thing now. And so for all intents and purposes, it basically was the Dreamcast 2. And then after that, they're like, let's do a 360 thing. I once worked for a company that also had like a 360 theme where it's like, oh, we need to incorporate everything like a circle, everything connects, we encompass the total solutions, blah blah blah. And that was 360, and then all in one, so they called it the Xbox One. And now the series, which is kind of vague and kind of confusing. Is it easy? No. Does it confuse parents? All day long. But it's not the worst thing. It's not like the DS family of names. The DS family of names, I think, is still the king in terms of unnecessarily confusing names. Terrence, what's the next game you will cover? I am in the middle of editing Nier Automata. And I'm gonna say Automata, and I know there's gonna be people be like, actually, it's Automata? It's like, wow, it's Nier Automata. It doesn't really matter. Automata, it doesn't matter. Was there a flashlight in this game? I don't remember. I don't remember there being a flashlight, but I could be wrong. Alright, so. Launch. Alright, well, there's a light right there. Aim. Switch. Float, levitate, dash. Okay. Remember when Apple made a console? Apple's made a couple of different consoles. Actually, they've tried a few things. Here's one for you. This is an old throwback. How many of you remember the gaming sort of pseudo PC or project? It was like a weird advanced smart keyboard project that was between Sony and Microsoft. How many people remember that when they teamed up for this project? But yeah, I'm really glad a lot of people enjoyed Chisome Mythos. I am a little bit dismayed that a lot of people also voiced that they didn't like that I was covering non-RPGs, which I find a little entitling. It's like, first of all, it's my channel, and second, it's, you know, we cover stories here. I never said, hey, I'm just going to cover RPGs. I'm not going to cover just the big name stuff. We talk about stories. Stories come in all forms, big and small. And besides, there are lots of big name games that have pretty short stories. Like, look at a lot of the Resident Evils that I made, or even some of the Final Fantasies. There's a handful of those that were less than 10 minutes. And of course, I love the Castlevanias. I like the Castlevanias, so I'm going to keep making more Castlevanias. Yeah, it happened back in the either the mid or the late 80s. I wasn't alive for most of that, but there was a project I found out when I was doing research for another video project. I gotta remember how to levitate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a lot of what YouTube hates about my channel, YouTube hates a lot of things about my channel. It hates that I don't have a channel trailer. It hates that I don't have a 10-second or 30-second intro to every video. It hates that I don't have a call to action. It hates that I don't do collabs with other people. YouTube hates a lot of the things that I do. It hates that I don't talk about just one game series. And the problem is that there are a lot of people who do feed into that. And they're like, how come you just don't talk about, like, Final Fantasy or, you know, RPGs in general? It's like you talk about a lot of different games. That is correct. Because that is not the point of my channel. Is to just talk about one subgenre. Do I love RPGs? Absolutely. If you cut me, I bleed RPGs. But they're not the only games that I play. And they're not the only type of games that have good stories.
Now that gate should open.
What's melee in this game? Okay, that's melee. Melee! I was saying earlier, it's ironic, but because Nier Automata has such good music and, you know, the claim bots also like hunting out music, it's going to be funny that I also have to fight robots in real life to get my video posted. Hopefully it doesn't become too long of a delay. Where it's like I post it, they're like, nope, we're going to claim this. Okay, take it down, rework it, put it back up. Hey Greg, how's it going? Yeah, my weekend's going great. Hope you're having a good weekend too.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
We're testing out YouTube streaming, by the way. Anyone who's just coming in. So, if volume sounds a little too uneven, like, oh, maybe the game should be louder, because it's different from game to game. If I'm too loud, that's fine, we can adjust that. If I speak too fast, you're incorrect, you actually think too slow.
Do we know each other?
Ooh, Alan Wake.
This feels familiar.
We're just jumping straight into it.
I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
I never played American Nightmare, so I never knew if they ever resolved the events of Alan Wake. I heard American Nightmare wasn't very good, though.
Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just
So do
a
you, Alan.
role.
You do not look like how I remember.
The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember?
I wish I could say I remember the events of Alan Wake better. I need recaps too.
You need a drink.
Umbra, I hope it's not too much of a pain with the near video, so do I. He looks younger than he did in the other game. In the other game he was pretty young. Adding that scruff around him doesn't make him look older. I think it's the hair that throws me off.
Darkness.
The beard doesn't help. Throws me off.
We're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing.
You found a way.
No.
Also, his cheekbones are very pronounced. I don't remember Alan Wake having really pronounced cheekbones. I could just be misremembering. Now I'm literally looking up Alan Wake's cover.
I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
I mean, the nose looks the same. The brow looks the same.
You misunderstand me.
The hair is totally different. I think the jawline is different. They redid his face.
That was the Alan Wake?
The Alan
The
Wake.
famous writer? He disappeared years ago. It was all over the news back then. And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Remember better than I do. I feel like if we're meeting Alan Wake, I need to change out of my adventuring gear into like the director's suit. Look official. I remember the TVs were a big thing in Alan Wake. Turn off all the things. Some dude was trying to say I bought subscribers because he and the other people were the other people in my stream. Buying subs and subs for subs never works. You're only cheating yourself. you're a creator, I know things are rough, but you just gotta stick with it.
Looking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Hey, Nick Knack. Long time no see. My week's been going great. I can't believe it's Saturday already, though. It's almost the end of November. Where did this month go? It's been such a blur to me. I think it's because I actually put out a video every week this month so far. And that's so bizarre for me. Okay, we're gonna get changed into the director's outfit. We gotta look good if we're gonna meet Alan Wake. Moved to full remote learning and my grandpa's in the hospital. I hope your grandpa does okay. Hopefully nothing too serious. Now that Chizo, by the way, to speak of the channel, is basically over, I'm not going to do any of the side content. The next thing I'm going to be doing is in between the major tentpole titles, because I still have to recognize the main RPGs that I still want to recap. All that's like hundreds of lines long on the queue. Those are still the big ones that really get people to watch, and I understand that. But in between, I'm still going to post the smaller games, the games that to me are still just as important to talk about. And there are actually quite a few smaller ones that I can knock out in between the bigger ones. I find what I found is if I just work on two things at the same time, a little bit every day, I can get smaller things done faster versus working on a small one, working on a small one, working on a small one, then working on a big one. Because all I'm doing is just, it's a different way of approaching the work. Director's suit, here we go. Ugh, I don't like her hairstyle on this. But this is the official suit. I love the asynchronous suit. It's my favorite outfit here. I think it looks a lot better. But, you know, if we're going to be official, we might as well look official. Yeah, congrats on reaching your 60 subs. That's a big milestone. You always gotta stay excited. Because getting to 10 subs seems like a large effort, but I'll be honest, that's really not that much. You'll get that by virtue of just plugging away whatever you're doing. But to get to 100 subs, that's a big milestone. That's a milestone that you should absolutely be cheering. What the heck is that? Oh crap, it's one of those things that kill you every time you go somewhere or touch it. Now I feel like I really look like Dana Scully. Am I supposed to go down there? No. I might have to. I didn't think I'd last that long. Okay. I'm assuming the yellow is where we gotta go. If this is Ubisoft Division rules. Well, the door's opening, that's a good sign.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
And they do not turn the lights on in here at all. But yeah, the next bit of short videos that I want to do is Castlevania. I didn't realize that I haven't posted a Castlevania video in over a year. I remember when I did it for a month, some people were like, enough Castlevania, even though I love Castlevania. But I figure if I mix it up with things, it won't be so bad. That's unusual.
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
I wonder if we're gonna get any more mods. Because I played all the DLC, and I did pretty much everything except for the trials, which I didn't really care for. I didn't like that in the last DLC. I didn't like the time trials. I didn't find that particularly interesting. Oh, hello. Crap, we have level 8 dudes. Okay. What happened to my possessed guy? Why aren't you doing anything? Get out there and do something. I love mind control. Mind control's so good. Because not only do you just remove an enemy, but they become your ally, and even once they're done, just like this guy, they die on their own. Mind control's so good. Legacy of Kain win? That's definitely on the queue. I'll say that. I get Soul Reaver requested so often. But remember, I'm not starting any new series. There are a lot of series that I said I was going to start soon, but I have to put that on hold because I have to get some of these old series out. They just have to be done. I can't have 20 open series on my channel. That's ridiculous. So when we start knocking off some of these series off, then we'll see where we're at. Alright, what do I have? Health recovery, energy recovery. That's kind of where I want to stay. Get out of here, level 3 and level 4 mods. Nobody likes your style. Give me those level 6 mods. I feel like an MMO where you see blue, just destroy it out of your inventory. You don't need blues. Get out of those. Get out of here, blue. Blue's my favorite color, but not when it comes to rarity. Yeah, why? I used to watch Linkara a lot, by the way. He's one of those people that, you know, I kind of got in after watching a lot of that guy with the glasses. I think a lot of people did back when they were in their heyday and things weren't a meltdown. And, you know, I still watch Phaelus. I kind of got out of... Whoa, that's new.
This darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
But yeah, just kind of got out of watching most of them. Besides, when you're making content, I don't know, you kind of don't have that much time to be watching other people's content. That's something I found. There's a lot less podcasts and a lot less websites I used to visit versus when I was just surfing. Really? I can't move that? That's what I thought. Because sometimes when you see a picture and it looks like a broken wall, that's actually a clue the game's telling you to break this wall. Yeah, I still watch Phaelus's videos though, even through today. He's the one guy who I've still stuck around with. I think it's because I love his dry sense of humor. It really matches my own. Alright, nothing else to explore. Okay, so there's a disturbance, but we can't figure it out. Can't climb up there. I thought I could, though. I guess there really isn't anything to reach. No? But yeah, wrapping up the open series is what I need to do. There are several series that are very close to being wrapped up. And then there is some, like Final Fantasy, where there's always more stuff to do. Like, I still haven't done the Dissidia trilogy, and that's something that I feel could be short. Because there really isn't that much going on in Dissidia. But it's still necessary. Alright, so I can't go to the service tunnel. Aim a powerful... Oh, okay. Thank you, game. I actually didn't know that. I would not have guessed that.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Maybe that was the clue that it was so dark in the beginning and I kept saying, maybe there's a flashlight or something like that. The game was trying to tell me, hey, you need to use light to find your way through. And you should be carrying a light on you. Alright, we got the mold. Do we have the mold people in that mold? I don't like that. I don't remember how the mold worked. If it was poisonous and then maybe you find a way past it? I could have sworn, like, you get something and you become immune to the mold. Check, check, test, test. Yeah. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Okay, yeah, I must be immune to it. Because I couldn't remember in the last expansion there was mold like this, and until a certain point in the game, it was basically deadly to you. But then you got something, and you basically became immune to it. Still relearning a lot of it. That's always what it's always like whenever you play a game, and it's been a year, or at least like 6 months. And you're like, how do things work again? How do I aim? How do I shot weapon? You watch everyone as long as it's entertaining. That's a very fair thing to say. My viewers keep telling me I have a radio voice, Nerdy John. As long as they don't tell you you have a face for radio, then that's a compliment. I think it's funny when people hear me, or at least they see me stream or talk in real life, they're like, wow, it's actually your voice? I'm like, yeah, it's actually my voice. The biggest thing people tell me is that they like listening to my voice or any of my videos when they go to sleep. And I decided to take that as a compliment, where it's like, you know what? I also put myself to sleep. Ooh, it's a new gun, Surge. Surge fires adhesive munitions that detonate when manually triggered. So it fires sticky grenades. Interesting. I do like grenade launchers. Although the missile launcher in this game isn't very good. I don't like using it. What's infinite versus absolute? I don't remember what that means. I kind of wish I got ooh, multi-launch. That actually has to be something new. I've never seen that before, because we maxed out everything before. Hold and launch up to 3 objects. Enemy giant recovers when it launches objects. That's so good. That is so good. Launch is MVP in this game. Shield and launch are so good. Man, that's actually really good. That's something new. Okay. So let's try out our new grenade launcher friend. We need a name for it. I like naming a lot of my guns. It's a penchant I have in real life. I like to name, they're like partners, you know? My number 2 was Grip right here, which is the basic pistol / magnum. I just like calling it Zip and Grip, and that's a reference to another play I did. Spin to Win was really good. But now we have Surge. Alright, Surge, what do you want to put on you? I think a good old-fashioned damage mod is fine. Until we find something better. Alright, so we have a little grenade launcher. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. That is true that we haven't had grenades in this game. And enemies do tend to cluster up. So, does it just explode after a while, or did it hit something? Okay. It has a smaller blast radius than the rockets do, but I'm okay with that, because the rockets, especially in rooms like this, the explosion radius is so huge, and you are constantly getting caught, or as I was, constantly caught in the explosions. There were so many times I died because I was too danger close. Okay, so it doesn't blow up when I'm next to it. Can I pick up the grenade itself? Okay, so it does explode on its own after a while. Okay, and I can add it to an item to blow it up. Okay, good. This is all research.
The sound made darker, the darkness made
Trying to understand this game out of context. Yeah, because I'm playing the second DLC for this game. So you're jumping in super late.
Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Oh, so it's like he's writing. I can't even say, well, if you played Alan Wake, you would know. This is one of those... Oh, that's right, I need a source of light. I should probably just carry a spotlight with me at all times. Honestly. Does that mean that the enemies are going to have grenade launchers now? I don't even see what I'm collecting. I just see something to collect and I collect it. I'm a simple man. Alright, well, that's a save point right there. Okay, so firing and you can remote detonate. I do like remote detonation. That's cool. That's actually really cool. And the recharge time is really fast too. I'm kind of surprised. I hope that doesn't mean that they do terrible damage. One of the things I love about Control is, ironically, the controls. Because you have basically, you know, 4 powers, and each power is assigned one button. That button just does one thing. There's so many games that add this ridiculous level of context, like sensitivity, where, oh, well, if you're facing this way, then this button does this, but if you're facing this way, then the button does that. And it's like, and there's so many times you have misinputs. Control, you press the button, it does a thing. You think that would, you know, not be remarkable, but you'd be so surprised. I'm sure you've encountered it on your own, where you just play a game, you're like, I meant to press this button, or I pressed the button, but the context wasn't there, so the game thought I meant to do this. And it's so annoying. Like, there's 14 buttons on a controller. Surely you can have buttons be devoted to other things. Or have a committed button. You name your guitars? I like to name all my mounts in a game. I like to name cars. Cars too, especially. I consider them like mounts. They're like modern mounts. Hey Chenzen, how's it going today? So Chenzen, that was you. Okay, I didn't realize from the icon that was you as one of the members. I didn't realize that. Thank you, by the way. Big Nips. Hey Oni, big fan of your work. Have a great day. Thank you. I hope you have a great day too. Thank you so much for the tip. But yeah, it's so annoying. Like, there are so many games, I've said this before, where gameplay is just as important as story, if not more so, because in a game, it's so fundamentally important to have the gameplay, the way that you interact with the actual medium, be enjoyable, or at least not be frustrating. Because if you just have frustrating gameplay or controls, or it's just so terribly boring or frustrating to get through, it doesn't matter how good of a story you have, you're not going to reach it. Because you're just going to be pissing off the player every step of the way because of how unenjoyable the journey is to get there. Let there be light. That's a new enemy. We've never had the SWAT soldier, and of course they have grenades. We've never had the SWAT soldiers fly before. There's also no ducking in this game, so you constantly have to be moving. Your soul is mine. I love mind control. It's just so good. Because then I don't have to fight. They just fight themselves. Nothing like good old-fashioned mind control. That did not kill him, and I shot him with a grenade directly. Ooh, if I'm not mistaken, that grenade had like a homing on it. I think there's slight homing on the grenade. Alright, so multiple grenades. Good job. Yeah, I think there's slight homing on the grenades, not that I'm complaining. Oni, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? I am proud to say that is Final Fantasy VI. That decision has not budged. There have been many games in my, what I would consider like top tier versus like even top 10 that have changed over the years or shifted position. But the #1 spot has never budged. I know some people are like, you always love your first one. 6 was not my first one. I played one. I still have my copy of 1 on the NES, still in the box and everything. I played Final Fantasy since the very beginning. And I do not consider the original Final Fantasy the best one. Not by a long shot. It's a fun game. But oh boy. It's been, let's just be polite and say it's been outdone. Do you like time travel in games? Sentient Punching Bag? I'm just going to say Punching Bag for short. Yes and no. Because it may surprise you, if you have watched many of the recaps that I've done, I'm surprised how many games use time travel. Alright, we have side quests. Side quests are always worth doing in this game. If you ever play Control on your own, do all the side quests. The side quests give you better rewards than the main quests, and some of them are honestly more interesting. One thing that this game deliberately does is it doesn't tell you where to go. You have to explore a lot. A lot of people consider this like a 3D Metroid. I suppose that's fair. But I think there are better descriptors out there. The game is super quiet. Well, there's not exactly action going on right now, but let's tip it up a little bit and see how it goes. There are many quiet moments in this game, though. There's no music. But, yeah. time travel is often used as a very lazy writing mechanic because they just kind of be like, time travel happens and then my problem's fixed.
Right.
They don't write consistent rules. They don't stick to any sort of semblance of believability. Even though it's fantasy magic, there's consistency that needs to be done, or at least continuity. That I use this example all the time, but I like the world of Harry Potter. I hate the magic system of Harry Potter. The magic system of Harry Potter is garbage because it's like they're making up stuff as they go along. There's no consistency. Most people use their stuff that's very dumb, and they just create artificial problems at the same time they create artificial solutions. It's such a bad system. There are way better systems that are just... I shouldn't have to overthink your made-up system because you don't even bother to think about it at all, I think is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so this darkness is slowly killing me. But I need 2 energy things. I think there's one up there. Nope. There are 5 things I need to be activated in here. Enforcer, thank you so much. And like I said earlier on the on your community page, thank you so much for being a YouTube member. I really appreciate that. And I apologize that I haven't paid better attention to that. Did you... I saw you were able to watch the deep cut. Were you able to access the rest of that playlist? I'm curious. Because YouTube doesn't have a means of making a playlist exclusive to a certain amount of people. It's basically public, private, or unlisted. So, yeah. Movie Harry Potter or book Harry Potter? They're both inconsistent. The movies are just rushed and inconsistent, but the books are definitely inconsistent. Alright, so we need like 5 or 6 power bricks in here. And we don't have any. So it seems that's going to be our objective there. Is bring power bricks that we find over there. Alright, we've been in this bathroom. A lot of controls exploring, by the way. Like I said, it is very Metroid in that way. We just kind of go in a direction until you can't go anymore, until you find a solution. Okay, so that's the hallway we just came in from. But we didn't go this way. Oh, there's the plant that he was talking about that needs sunlight. I should not have thrown away that lamp. I should have kept that lamp with me. Oh, and one thing that for some of you who are new here, I get lost extremely easily. If I have one real-life weakness, it is that I am navigationally challenged. I get lost so easily. Mazes are a death knell to me. I want to find that lamp. That lamp is... This guy had a bad time. I should not have dropped that lamp. Where, oh where did I drop that lamp? They're enemies. Oh crap, it's explosive ones. Oh man, not these guys. I hate these guys. Oof. Dead. Never mind, those things pack a punch when you're danger close. At the same time, I will still play that new Harry Potter game that comes out. Because, like I say, I like the world of Harry Potter. It's very whimsical and silly, and I'm okay with that. I just, when it tries to take itself seriously, I can't take it seriously. Because it's not serious in the most remote sense. Like, you have to treat it like a fairy tale world. And the moment it tries to be gritty and edgy and dark and serious, it doesn't work. That's why I never liked the Fantastic Beasts movies. Nothing against the people that are in it. There are a lot of actors and actresses in there that are very good. I do not like those movies, mainly from a writing perspective, because they just, like I said, they introduce problems that they have already introduced the solutions for, and they act like they don't know what they're doing. It's like, oh, we need to find this thing. If only we had magic spells that could locate objects. Like, you've already shown off 5 ways of locating objects. How do you lose anything in this world? It is nuts to me. Like, if only we had some way of dispelling illusions, or you know, turning like lead into gold or some crap like that. They complain about the most mundane problems. It is amazing to me. I can't take it seriously. What do you think about the idea of making a Fate Stay JRPG MMO? I mean, hasn't it already been a couple of mobile games? I need several light things. I wonder if I should just take the light thing from here and plug it in, and that's where we go next. Oh, you're not gonna let me? Can't let me take that one. Okay, got it. Holy crap, the explosion radius in this is nuts. It didn't seem that large. I need to be careful. I can't be firing off the grenade launcher. So close. If you die, you lose 10% of your money, but I already bought pretty much everything I need to in this game, so it's not really that big of a deal. If it's not PC, it's not MMO. I don't know about that. There are lots of MMOs that are on console as well. But I know what you mean. And besides, there are some MMOs you can stream to your mobile device, if I'm not mistaken. They may not be the most engaging. They may not be your Final Fantasy XIVs or your World of Warcrafts. But you can certainly play them on tablets and most smartphones. Pretty advanced these days when you really think about it. But,
What is that?
what is that?
Come on, elevator, time to go. So you don't like the light? I can use that.
Alright, we got a weird pseudo monster here. Hartman. Was that the name of the doctor scientist that was leading this facility besides the director? I wonder if I could throw grenades at him. Nah, he's definitely invincible until he's in the light, I'm sure. Oh, so once you plug it in, you can't you can't take it out. Oh, there's power cores. Power cores all day. Let's see, if I were a power core repository, where would I be? I know there are like 6 in this room. Ironically, they're easier to find in the dark. It's like the irony of trying to find a light switch in the dark. Because you're fundamentally finding the solution to your problem that pervades the problem to begin with. Like, if only I could see the thing that would help me see. J. Kuma, how are you doing? I am doing great. Hope you're having a great Saturday too. Happy weekend. Happy November 2020, which I like to sardonically point out to everyone. Everyone who likes to say, oh, 2020 as a meme, like 2020 problems or 2020 getting worse or 2020 blah blah blah. 2020 is only going to be around for a little more than a month, and let me tell you something. I don't think a lot of the issues you're having are going to be gone in 1 month. Call me a negative Nancy. I know there was... Oh, bounties. They're still doing bounties. How come I could see all of them before and I just can't see any of them now? I feel so dumb. But if I were to do a Fate MMO, I would kind of handle it where you could, of course, create your own hero using class archetypes where you get to choose it. But I would kind of play it like Pokemon, to be honest with you, where you could have you didn't just have to make a pact with one person. You could form mini pacts with different people, but just have one active one at a time. I would do it like that. I wouldn't necessarily have 6 of them like Pokemon, but maybe like 2 or 3. Something where like you have to put a concerted effort into choosing which spirits you want with you. I wouldn't want you to be like what some people would think where, well, how about you are the spirit and you just, you know, do your thing. Like, oh, I'm a Berserker class or I'm a Lancer class. Nah. I don't think I'd actually be that interesting. Because it would be just like any other battle MMO. And that's not unique enough. There it is. Alright. Could I be playing Hyrule Warriors? Yes. And I'm avoiding spoilers on Hyrule Warriors too. So the good news is that I'm incredibly stubborn-minded, so even if you told me a Hyrule Warriors spoiler right now, A, wouldn't appreciate it, and B, I wouldn't believe you anyway. Because I believe most of the information and leaks that are online are lies to begin with. And I think I'm right more often than not on that. Yeah, it turns out I was overthinking this. Don't search for anything. Just go to the very limit of the edge, and the game will direct you to where you need to go. This is where I need that carry multiple items thing. Have you heard of the game Glory of Heracles? Yes, I have. I actually heard it was not that bad, but I heard it was more popular in Japan. Oh, don't know if you saw the message, but Deep Cut playlist is not available. Okay, thank you, Enforcer. Okay, so, So here's what I'm gonna do. It'll be a project, but I'm gonna spend an afternoon just for you guys, because it's the least I could do. And I'm gonna post on the members-only community all of the deep cuts that I've done so far, everything in the playlist. I think it's like 30 videos, but, you know, at the very least, you know, you guys are worth it, so what's the big deal? So be prepared to be bombarded. And of course, when I post a new one, I will post it on there as well. I just kind of wish YouTube allowed me to put a playlist and not individual videos as member only. I find that really tedious. Collect the clue, darn it. There we go. So it's like we're fighting the leeches from Resident Evil 0. They die in the sunlight. Or vampires. Most vampires. I'm surprised the oldest house has skylights. Or I guess it's just light in general. Those aren't actually, that's not actually sunlight. I guess I do the elevator now. It needs more love?
What are you doing in investigations?
Maybe so.
Don't scare me like that, Winston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
I will talk to you slowly like you're an idiot.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the Panopticon.
Like, is there not a single flashlight in this entire building?
Maybe from
That you couldn't just give me a flashlight?
Right, okay, well, break a leg. Why did I say that?
Okay. This Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting...
Let's see. One thing I wish any of these expansions did was expand the amount of mods you could carry. It's always been 24. Incoming damage after seizing an enemy? That seems really useful, but other than just generic have better health, have more health, recover energy, don't really need anything else after that. Don't need it. I think I'm collecting it just because I like collecting things. What are the games that you're more excited to play on the PS5? So here's the thing. The games that I'm most excited to play on PS5 are games that are already on the PS4. They have yet to show me any PS5 exclusive games that I'm like, oh damn, I really want that. Because even the games that are mildly interesting, I guess that's one of the reasons why I thought I was going to go into this month and be like, oh boy, I want to do a review on a game. I haven't done one in a while. And then all the initial offerings for the new gen are all like, they're okay. They're all just okay. I wanted to do, the one I would have done was Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I didn't want to do that when I haven't covered any of the other Yakuza games on my channel. So I'm like, it seems out of place. So I want to cover Yakuza after I cover the other Yakuzas, but I don't want to... That's why I didn't do a review on it. Also, it's so close to Black Friday that I'm like, I can just wait literally a week, and I think a lot of the games that I want to buy are going to be on sale.
Doesn't.
So I didn't rush out and buy day ones of anything.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research.
My order of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is on its way, so I would be playing that, but it's not on PS5. It's on Switch. That's the game I'm most excited to play right now is Age of Calamity. If there's Linkle DLC, I will buy it. I think I told you once already, but when I saw your video, I could have sworn you were Tierzu. I remember somebody once mentioning that. That was you? Yeah, and I replied to you. I said, I wish I could be half as cool as that guy. I remember that comment.
Well, maybe that's not true.
See? Just goes to show you, I read all the comments.
But when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about.
Speaking of charming,
We're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows.
like, that reminds me of Bugsnax. Bugsnax was a game that from the first time I saw it, I'm like, this will be a game that's okay, but people will label it as charming because they like it, but they realize it's not that great.
He was Trench's golden boy for
And that's what people say about games that they like but aren't that great. They just say it's charming. Like, oh, that great. It's you know, it's not the best game. It's just, you know, it's got a nice personality. Uh-huh.
Too much work to do to focus on those kinds of things. I need to stay focused.
Forgot that I was low on health. Get over here so I can mind control you. Damn, these things go up to level 9 now? Holy crap, they are wrecking my health. This is bad. Man, level 9 dudes are destroying me. I feel like a glass cannon. Like, I can kill them, but they can kill me pretty easily, too. This is why I like the handgun. It's fast, it's accurate, and it gets the job done. Like, I just need you to do work. Oh, come on. Oof. Brutal. Thanks for hanging around, Punching Bag. Thanks for coming during the test soft launch premiere. My regular streaming time, by the way, is Sunday evenings and Tuesday evenings, so hopefully I can catch you around. Thanks for jumping in. I should do an earlier one, though. I usually do them at night. And most people have to get up early in the morning. But that's just the time I could do. Hey there, enjoyed your Wild Arms video. I'm glad you did. That's like saying DMC2 is worse than the reboot? So here's the thing. The reboot's not a bad game. it is just not, it's not a great reboot. Because here's the problem with what DMC Reboot tried to do. The problem is it tried to still be connected to the original. And you don't do that if you're a reboot. If you're a reboot, you have to swear off the original. You have to do your own thing and have nothing to do with it. That's the only way you're gonna survive. Oh boy, that's a big boy. Oh my gosh. Grenades. Mind control. Let's go. See you later, bye. Alright, that was much more efficient. No way there's nothing in this room. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks for making videos on JRPGs. I'm just making videos on the games that I like. And if you like the same games, that just means you have good taste. So high five. Although, there are many games that I do play and I don't really care for. They're not my favorite, or I have a lot of critical things to say about them. There are only a few games that I've played where I'm like, I hate this game. But there's certainly a lot of games where I played where I'm like, this game wasn't that good. A lot of people like it, but I didn't care for it. I hear something in here. Is it my dude? Or is it another dude? I think that's my dude. I think my dude's fighting another dude. And my dude doesn't know how to take stairs. Yep, somebody died. Or actually, that could have been his mind control. Yeah, it expired. I love how the material just zipped over to my way. And I didn't have to go back and get it. That is so convenient. Your uncle worked on the Wild Arms games, and I showed him... Oh, that's so cool! You literally have that my uncle worked at Nintendo story. How have you been handling the virus? Are you still able to work? I am remote, so I am mostly unaffected. Alright, so you're in the back of that fence. And we need a source of light. How do we get a source of light off? Oh, there we go. Nope. Flashlight. Beloved flashlight. We're gonna carry this flashlight with us everywhere. We're not gonna make the same mistake and drop it. I was stupid. You tested positive yesterday? Oof. Best of luck, my friend. Thoughts and prayers go out to you. What do you think about the Dragon Quest series? So here's what I think about the Dragon Quest series. I think when I finally do the Dragon Quest series, I'm going to name the first one Dragon Warrior. So that way I can annoy all the purists out there who's like, don't you know it's like the first Dragon Quest? It was only Dragon Warrior in the United States. I'm like, yeah, and that's the country I live in. And that's the name of the game when it came out. What about it? But yeah. Dragon Quest is a series that focuses on tradition, which you think would sound overdone, but it kind of isn't. There are many RPGs that don't necessarily repeat the same thing installment to installment as much as Dragon Quest does, and it's a series of refinement. It doesn't necessarily just oh, did I break it? Okay, good. No.
Director Faden here. Dispatch a ranger to this location.
Nice. They brought that back. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because if you can put out the same thing and keep refining it and making it interesting, then great. Good lord. How do I die so fast from these guys? How do they deal so much damage? I hope you enjoyed my recap. I hope your uncle was like, wow, this guy talks too fast. I hope he didn't mind my Easter egg references in there either. I know sometimes they go over not super well. Or most people don't even catch them. But I always throw at least 1 or 2 Easter eggs in every single game. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to play smarter. We're going to focus on mind control. We're going to stick to cover. And we're going to make sure that we stay close to health. They only send me a level 7 dude to fight level 9 dudes. I wonder if it's the grenades that are killing me. I think it's the grenades that are killing me more than these guys. He's regenerating health. Now these guys are definitely killing me. Oh. Not paying attention to dudes will also kill me. So yeah, the exploding dudes killed me. The only Dragon Quest game I ever actually finished was 8. Dragon Warrior was always too hard for me when I was a little kid. I never beat it. I started but never finished 9. And I own 5, 6, and 7 that I think were re-released on the DS. I bought those when they re-released them, but I never played them. I just kind of collected them.
This is Director Faden.
And 10 I started but never finished, but I hear lots of... They're not 10, but 11. 10 was the MMO. But I hear lots of good things about it. I'm really better off just shooting them, aren't I? The grenade launcher is not as good as I would have thought. Unless you're like a big boy. Alright, we gotta pay attention because there are dudes around here that will blow up and kill us. That's what's been killing us. Our lack of spatial awareness. My assistant is not the best assistant. Alright. Yeah. That explains it. We have to kill this thing first, or at least convert it, because those things automatically regenerate every enemy it's next to. There we go. Ah, still dying. Man, these guys just love checking out their explosives. I need something like explosion resistance, is what I need. But yeah, Dragon Quest is going to be the next series that I tell myself I'm going to put out once I finish Final Fantasy and once I finish Tales. I love the Tales series, but I can't help but feel that I love Tales more than most people. I don't know. It's a very hit or miss series. If you were to tell me I like it, but I don't like this other thing about it, I would be okay with it, because that's true. I don't love every Tales, and there are a lot of Tales games that I think could be better. You have to... Let's go with spin. So what I need to do is I need to convert these two guys. I'm gonna jump up here. Like all those dudes are down there. Now that I have two dudes, should do a little bit better. Man, these dudes do so much damage. Oh my gosh. Holy crap! Heal me, heal me, heal me. Thank you. Alright. Sorry, I'm focused right now. I'm not looking at chat, so nobody's asking me anything. I'll get to you in just a second after I stop dying. Okay, hit detection, you're killing me. This is why I like mind control. Alright, we done? We're good? Alright. 6 times the charm. Have you ever played Gravity Rush? It's been a while since I played Gravity Rush. I liked it. I remember liking it, but it's been such a long while since I played it. Best Final Fantasy antagonist in your opinion? So there are two that I like to talk about, because there are different ways to define an antagonist. You can define an antagonist based on how likable they are. You know, popularity does speak something, even though it's not necessarily efficient. You can base them based on their efficiency, such as do they declare a goal and how well do they accomplish their goal. You can also grade them on how much they actually interfere with the party, which is kind of the primary role of an antagonist to begin with. Because if they just kind of do their own thing, and the party's doing their own thing, and they only happen to clash at the very end, that's not a very compelling story. I think the relationship between an antagonist and a protagonist, well, first of all, if they're not directly antagonizing the protagonist, then they're not an antagonist. First of all. A lot of people just think any old bad guy's an antagonist. That's not what an antagonist is. They need to be directly involved against the protagonist, whoever that is. And that's not always the main character. The main character is not always the person who's moving the story along. Just like the person who's bad doesn't necessarily be the person who's getting that person's way. So it kind of really depends on where you want to define it. For me, I like knowing the... How come whatever it is I'm looking at, I can't select it? Alright. For me, whatever the antagonist's plot, they first of all need to be an actual antagonist, so they need to be related to the main character in some way, if there is a main character, or the party as a whole. Because not every RPG is focused about characters. Sometimes they're focused around parties. So you need to have that. To me, if it's somebody just shows up and it's like, Blarg, I'm bad, that's not good enough.
Alright,
Also, anybody who says an antagonist is good
you had in mind?
because, oh, they kill a lot of people. Okay, well, with all due respect, having a body count is so mundane as a feature. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Yes, they're killing a lot of people, that's not a good thing. But you're also killing a lot of people, so that's really not a measurement of you being a hero, is it? So then why is killing people a measurement of being a bad guy? I never agreed with that rationale. To me, body count is in no way a record measurement of how quote-unquote heroic or how villainous somebody is. I don't believe in that. That's why I never like when somebody's, he killed all these people, blah, 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 body count score. If that was the person's intention, was a lot of ceaseless murder, or a lot of very unethical killing, then sure. That's one thing. But that really isn't the be-all, end-all. Especially when they kill party members. Like, who cares? Yes, I really love that party member. The party member's dog got killed. Yeah, well, you killed a lot of people too. And some of those people had dogs. You killed a lot of dogs too. Or... you kill a lot of their lieutenants and people that they cared about. So to me, when you have one-sided perspectives, that's not a compulsory argument. That's why I say it's about the relationship, because the relationship is something that's unique. You need to have somebody who's doing something interesting, and doing something interesting that also is directly involved in that main person. Arden, like you just brought up, I think is an excellent Final Fantasy villain. So well done. Crap, there's more people. These dudes deal freaking 30% of my damage? Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. For some odd reason, submachine gun is not doing very much damage. Why are there so many dudes here? I'm just trying to investigate. Good lord. Alright, anybody else want to fight? Okay. Man. Brutal. Anyway, where were we? That's why I personally like to say Arden is an excellent choice. I'd probably say he is, in my opinion, one of the best Final Fantasy villains out there. Because not only does he have a very declared motive, it's nothing vague like, I want to take over the world. No. Dude just wanted revenge for having his kingdom stolen from him. He was trying to do a good thing, and the powers that be, which really just Bahamut, was saying, oh, well, the way you did it was wrong and I don't like it, so F you. And he's like, really? That's what I get? He's like, yep. And he's like, never mind, you're not going to be screwed over. I'm going to screw you over this way. So he's a very tragic person, but it's not just the tragedy. The fact that he accomplished his role so well. And yes, he went out of his way to do it in a very cruel way. So he embraced his role while at the same time it corrupted him, in a truer sense. To me, that's a much more fascinating thing. I also enjoy... I don't think it's like the series' best, but I do enjoy Crisis Core's take on Sephiroth. I think that's a much more interesting way than the base game handles it. Because, again, Fallen War Hero, learning the truth about his origin, and he's not technically wrong when he says, hey, I'm actually, you know, I have alien blood, so I really think I'm the best person around the planet. It's not kind of wrong. But I don't find that as well accomplished, because he also didn't have like the most declared intention. It was very vague, and you also don't see him for most of the game. You only see him at the very, very end, and that's not compelling. Sephiroth wasn't actually that involved in the party, and you may be thinking, well, what are you talking about? Well, not. It was always between him and Jenova. Jenova had a big part to deal with the party and Cloud and all that. They thought it was Sephiroth, but it was really just a lot of Jenova shenanigans. And that to me is just like the whole misdirection. Yeah, that's one part of storytelling, but that wasn't the most interesting at the end of the day. To me. There's some people that love that stuff, but to me, it's been done. Kefka is good. Kefka I consider very good. Damn, but they brought back the mold zombies too. Alright, you know what? We're going back to Shotgun. Shotgun at least can do stuff. You say Jenova is the main villain of Final Fantasy VII? I would agree with that. It's like, oh, but Jenova got upended. Yeah, so what? You think that's the first coup to happen to a bad guy in history? Whatever. Coups happen all the time. Where it's like, surprise, the general overthrew what you thought was the main bad guy. Because that happened in... what did I just cover recently? I mean, that happened in... sort of, in a manner of speaking. Wild Arms did that a little bit. Between Siegfried and Mother. And then you also have Breath of Fire. That happened. Where it's like, ah, you beat the main person. Surprise, I'm the general and I actually wanted all this for myself. That happens a lot. You say Jenova over Shinra? Absolutely. You see, if we're going by the original Final Fantasy VII, Shinra is not even an antagonist at all when President Shinra dies. Because the moment Rufus takes over, the direction and the focus of Shinra is honestly for the benefit of humanity. It's not for the benefit of the party, but it's for the benefit of humanity. Because who was the person who tried to reconcile all the different wars around there? It was Rufus. Rufus was the one who was organizing the wars between original Radical Avalanche and Wutai. That was Rufus behind the scenes, who was trying to get things organized. Who was the person who tried to use a rocket to blow up the meteor? That was Rufus. He's the one who tried to use actual human science and technology to defeat the threat in front of them. Who was the person who tried to hunt down Sephiroth with his own tools? That was Rufus. Rufus was who tried to... Rufus on Shinra was trying to actually do more good, but he did it in a very anti-hero way. It's easy to misconstrue him as the villain, but Rufus was low-key an anti-hero. And of course, there's the popular theory, too, that Rufus is the one who was funding the organization... I can't remember, like, the World Whatever organization that was in Dirge of Cerberus. That was Rufus. Is he an asshole about it? Absolutely. He's like that Seto Kaiba kind of vibe, where, like, I'm a good guy, but I'm gonna be a total jerk about it. But that doesn't change the fact that he's also not directly antagonizing the party. If anything, the party antagonizes him. Now, how they're gonna handle it in Remake, who knows? But yeah, Shinra was never an antagonist. And you have to remember, all the bleeding that Core Avalanche, not Core Avalanche, but Barrett's kind of radical version of Avalanche. And remember, they're just an extremist even by their own groups. Organizations. They're like, oh, we don't like those guys. Those guys are like the Unabomber. We really, and they basically are. They don't care about collateral damage. They're all focused about that, which is such a different Far Cry from how he was in, like, say, Before Crisis. Yeah, Rufus, screw the rules. I have money. That's exactly right. Hojo is sort of an antagonist. I would say, yeah, but he fits that core mad science role where he's like, I don't let ethics or your problems get in the way of my science. So, you know, the mad scientist plays by their own rules, plays their own game. We need more cores. And I don't know where more cores are. Did I mess up this puzzle already? Can I take these out? Okay, good, I can. Oh, okay, so you need 3 cores to unlock this one. Alright, so we got a light puzzle here. You need 4 to do this one. You need 2 for this one. Okay, cool. Oh wait, that was 1. Okay. And the other one is this one. Stay in there. Yeah, Hojo just plays his own rules. Now, when Hojo uploads himself to the internet and starts going, I want to control everything because reasons, and live forever, yeah, in Dirge of Cerberus, he's definitely the antagonist. That's where he's less about mad science and just more about being mad. So Dirge of Cerberus Hojo is definitely a deliberate antagonist, but regular Hojo is just like, I don't care who I have to... Because even in Before Crisis, he was like, if Avalanche is going to give me the supplies I need in the lab I want, in the freedom that I desire, then I'll join Avalanche. I don't care. Screw them. I'm not loyal to Shinra. I'm just to whoever will give me the room, opportunity, and resources to get what I want to get done. He's completely mercenary because he's selfish. That changes, but that doesn't change the fact that that's what he's all about. Alright, this one needs 3. This thing's sensitive. I guess I could just kind of look for whatever's connected to orange, come to think of it. I don't necessarily have to look at every single cable. Just look at what's connected to orange. Where's my third one? Oh, there it is. Okay. And I think the fourth one was blue. Yeah, we need 4 blues. Now we're thinking with portals. See, like, the game wasn't gonna explain this is the puzzle you need to solve. You kind of have to be aware of it. I kind of like games like that, where it doesn't just tell you, hey, you need to move all of the blocks to the color-coordinated locks in a particular order. Yeah, it kind of rhymed too. It's just you have to observe the situation and then figure out that's what you need to do. And it's not so obtuse that just by looking at it after a couple minutes we couldn't figure it out, which we did. So the Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII was like the ghost of the original. Are you talking about 7 Remake? So here's the thing with 7 Remake. Part of the reason why I'm not going to do a recap on 7 Remake anytime soon is because they deliberately leave things so incredibly vague that there is no point. Like, I can tell you what happens, but sometimes they do things that, other than me repeating what they do, it's going to lend itself to a lot of speculation. And it does that deliberately. It lends itself to a lot of speculation and mystery. And that's not what I'm about. This isn't... I don't run a theory channel. What kind of nonsense is that? Alright, the last 2 are yellows. No, the Sephiroth that you see running around doing stuff is Jenova in disguise. That's why I like to ask people, like, if somebody's like, oh, I know everything about Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, let me ask you a couple of core questions before we have this discussion to make sure we are in the same understanding here. Not a trick question. Who actually stabbed and killed Aerith? And a lot of people who casually observe or just kind of from a distance play Final Fantasy VII or know it or seen it or watched a play of it, they'll be like, well, obviously Sephiroth did. I know that. Easy. Softball. No. Sephiroth did not actually stab and kill Aerith. That was Jenova disguised as it. And they say that at the end of the game when it's like, oh, it was never Sephiroth. It was always just Jenova pieces shapeshifted to look like him. Ah, what a twist. So you can kind of filter out who does and doesn't kind of understand what's going on. Because if you didn't understand that, an overt plot twist, then you probably forgot about many other details. Which is why I can't necessarily take your input in this discussion of Final Fantasy VII seriously. I feel like I'm not necessarily fan-gating people, because like, oh, you're not a true fan and blah blah blah. No, you are. I'm sure you love it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're speaking from a position of, you know, you need to play the game and also understand what's going on in the game before we can have this discussion. You can love it, but if you don't understand it, it's kind of hard. That's just a theory of Black Mage Theory. How dare you? Oh my gosh. It's true, though, that I am not ashamed to say it, I hate most fan theories. 99% of all fan theories that are out there I hate. They're all garbage, they're all a waste of time. It's the fun sort of speculation that's cool to do when, like, you're in elementary school and you're like, ah, wouldn't it be cool if, like, it's like a Goku versus Superman crap, where it's like you're just theory crafting about nonsense. And it's okay because you're just you're just a kid having fun. It's not supposed to be serious. But then you have those people who try to theory craft and try to take it serious, and that's where I have a problem. Because that's most of the internet. And I don't want to throw shade on other content creators, but if most of your content on your channel is dumb movie or game theories, I really don't have respect for you. If there are if you're ever a content creator there are 3 content types that you will make if you have literally no idea. Like you have no idea what to do next, and you're just stalling for time. There are 3 things.
Corners to hide in. Okay, let's get the lights on and clear him out.
Can I just flash this flashlight in his face and kill him that way? But yeah, okay, that is shenanigans. I have a flashlight. I almost healed out of that. Not a fan of Death Battle. I used to be a fan of Death Battle, but Death Battle got weird. And their analysis and rationale for stuff was also kind of weird. I do agree, however, that Goku would always lose to Superman. Like, he wouldn't stand a chance. It's not even a contest. Superman is a person who can literally challenge, like, the gods in even Dragon Ball universe. They're like, oh, well, Goku can take on gods. The gods are a joke in the Dragon Ball universe. They've said that multiple times. And they're always rephrasing what the escalation is of gods. It's like, oh, King Kai is a god, or Kami is a god. And then King Kai, oh, he's actually a smaller god. There are bigger gods. Oh, there's actually small, like those Supreme Kais, that's actually a smaller god. There's actually Grand Kais. Oh, those Grand Kais, screw those guys, they're nothing. We actually have, like, these type of things. You know, we actually have these gods of destruction and creation. Oh, never mind, we actually all bow down to this guy is, oh my god, just stop it. It's a constant power creep in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Super has gotten dumb. I thought I liked it, and then I realized it's just very bad writing. The power escalation is just too ridiculous. But yeah, Superman, you know, within his context, he literally takes on, like, cosmic level threats that Goku would never stand a chance against. Oh, but Goku had 1,000,000 years to train. Well, what if Superman had 1,000,000 years to train? Okay? Like, it goes both ways. Go, my minion. Stall for time. That's why I also never liked anybody who thinks, like, Batman is serious. Batman, the way people treat him, he's so unrelatably inhuman. The way people want to treat Batman, it's like, you realize he's just a dude. He stubs his toe. He can break an ankle like anyone else and be out of commission. Oh, but he was able to walk off a broken spine. Right, because that's relatable. Everyone else who's, you know, had broken spines, just walk it off. Uh-huh. He's more alien than Superman is. It's ridiculous. Like, you realize Superman could just sneeze and destroy galaxies. The only reason he doesn't do most of that stuff is because he chooses not to. It's not even an issue of can't. And that's also the problem with why a lot of Superman writing is just bad. Because a lot of people don't realize there are so many writers out there that don't know how to write a plot where you don't resolve it by punching the other dude in the face. Because if the resolution is punch a dude in the face, then Superman's gonna win 10 times out of 10. Don't forget Batman survived in space without a suit once for a while. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's relatable. Like, oh my god. I need all of that health. Whoop! Haha, I got him right before he got me. Are you a fan of any card games? Yes. So here's the thing. I love card games. I just don't have the time to play them like I used to. I'm actually in the middle of trying to design So I was going to make a project, a side project, of I was making fun of a card game, but the more I designed the card game I was using as a metaphor to make fun of people in real life, I realized I was kind of designing my own card game. And then I realized that's just as hard. I had a tiny little head. Get out of here, tiny head.
Where's it running off to now?
But yeah, in conclusion, I do not like fan theories. I do not like game theories. And going back to my original point, if your content is mostly fan and game theories, I place that in the same rank as the other two types of content I was talking about, where you make this content if you have nothing of quality to say or do. You're just stalling for time until you can talk about something. And that is top 10 lists and reaction videos. Now, if you do other content and you also do, say, occasionally a top 10 video, a reaction, a fan theory, nothing wrong with that. But if the majority of your content is reactions, fan theories, and top 10s, you don't have anything. You are empty calories on the internet. And some people are like, I love that type of content. That's cool. I mean, it's like jingling keys. Some people like having keys being jingled in front of them. That's all they want out of life. But that is like that's like lazy, low tier, you make this if you have nothing better to do content. There's a puzzle in there.
Chaotic. Felt like it was trying to tell me something.
Okay, so there's an order to this.
Wonder if I can make sense of it.
Next stops, Alton, Carlinville, and Springfield. That's Alton, Carlinville, and
Alright, so we have train crash, conductor, violin.
Good evening, all you fine-looking folks. Here's some smooth tunes to ease your minds and please your ears.
This guy is before
as we
dinner.
wait for that delicious
Good
dinner.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard the Eagle Limited bound for Chicago. Please have your tickets ready and enjoy the ride.
Alright, so violin is before meal. What was the order?
Next stops, Alton, Carlinville, and Springfield. That's Alton, Carlinville, and Springfield. Tickets, please. Tickets.
Oh my god, fire!
Everyone, stay in your seats. In your seats.
Alright, so crash, fire.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and
Boarding.
welcome aboard the Eagle Limited bound for Chicago. Please have your tickets ready and enjoy the ride.
So I'm thinking boarding, conductor,
Next stops, Alton, Carlinville, and Springfield. That's Alton, Carlinville,
entertainment,
Fine-looking folks.
Tickets,
dinner,
please.
Here's
Tickets.
some smooth tunes to
fire, crash. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, that was right. Haha, take that. But yeah, if you're the type of person who's like, I like that sort of empty calories, that's okay. But just realize that it's okay to have a cheeseburger every now and then, but you shouldn't have a cheeseburger every day. That's my point. By the way, thank you for watching my stream where I get very regularly derailed and talk about one topic, drop it immediately, and then talk about another topic.
Excuse me, ma'am. You have a ticket?
You had a pretty dark ride, huh? But I hope you're done replaying it now.
And now that there's lights, I guess we can explore a little bit. Hey Jakuma, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. I like all the new faces that are here. You see, when I first streamed on YouTube, the very first time I streamed on YouTube, it was to show how I make a recap, and I did it with Last of Us Part 2. And for any of you that actually joined on there, did anybody in chat, were any of you part of that stream? It was kind of chaotic, messy, and a lot of rudeness going on. It wasn't pleasant. But now that I think I'm just chill streaming on my own, and just kind of streaming stuff that doesn't really matter, or talking about stuff that doesn't really matter, there's no stakes, and apparently not controversial games for people, I think we're having a really good time, and I'm meeting a lot of really cool new faces. So hopefully, I can talk to some of you again pretty soon. Derailed in the train car, clever? Haha, Jax gets it. I did say that pun on purpose. And Jax, you were there too? Yeah, especially day 1 and day 2 of covering that. It was uncomfortable to be around. Let's just put it that way. Chat made that very uncomfortable. If you ever want to see the replay of that, the VOD at least is on OBM Plays, but I deleted the original one on YouTube. Mostly because all the stuff that was on there might have gotten my channel flagged, and I didn't want that. But we're just doing chill streaming now, so we're all good. Oh, going back to the card games. So the card games whose systems I like the most, and I think I want to incorporate into the CCG that I'm designing, originally as a joke, but I kind of almost want to make it for real. Oh crap, it's those things. I love Gwent from Witcher 3, not the Gwent competitive version they made on mobile. I understand that Gwent was not very good for PvP and is more for PvE, but I like the original style. It was elegant in its simplicity. It was quick to play, and I loved it for that. I also like the concept of evolving monsters, so I like that part of, like, say, Pokemon, where it's simple to attribute energy and advancing your monsters. I like that concept. And I like Magic the Gathering in general, but I don't like a lot of the complexity. I like the different factions and how they each have strengths that are focused on. I like how you can mix and match strategies, and I love how you can... each cards have so many different special abilities and features. I like that. I like having cards that have special abilities that can turn the tide. I've watched friends play things like Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh always seems so complicated. I know there are paragraphs of descriptions in each card on how to do it, but I really don't want to have to read essays for everything I play on a card. Like, I like elegance and simplicity. That's always one of my favorite features in anything, is don't overcomplicate it. I was going to make a note about you don't have to be walking on the ceiling, but we are walking on the walls right now. Did I not get credit for this being a hidden area? It's totally a hidden area. Nice, that's the song I played during the good part of this game. Tuesday's stream was a little strange. Umbra, you're not wrong when we were talking about... Are you talking about when we played Unravel 2? Now, are you talking about the game, or are you talking about certain people in chat? Because if you're talking about certain people in chat, I would agree with you. But I think I'm getting better with that. I realize that I'm in control as I play Control. I also like saying lots of puns. The chat, yeah, I agree, Umbra. The chat on Tuesday got a little weird, and it's my fault. It's my fault for not for allowing the flow to get that weird. Like, we can be weird and dumb. I'm okay with that. I'm weird and dumb all day. But when we get that weird, I think a line was towed. I don't know if a line was crossed, but a line was definitely towed. And so we're gonna do better. Weapon mods full. Okay. Did you watch the Peaky Blinders? I don't even know what that is. Just finished watching your vid on what happened in Danganronpa 2. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. So Danganronpa 2, I hope you enjoyed it, but that's one of the videos that I agree I don't think I edited very well. I think I edited the video well, but I think the volume's too loud, and I don't generally agree with it because it's not true, but that is one where I feel I should have moderated my pace of narration a bit better. I should have done that, but, you know, it's neither here nor there. Oh, projectile spread minus 100? So it becomes a slug shotgun at that point, and not a spread. I want to try that. That might be really good. Get rid of these blues. Don't need you. Get out of here. Come to me when you're at least a level 5 mod. Dude, projectile spread minus 100%. Absolutely. I can literally just delete the other one. I'm never gonna not use this. The gameplay was too long. Yeah. Some of the cases in Danganronpa 2, in my opinion, were a little too derivative. It was a little too obtuse what the game was trying to ask you to get to because it wanted to blow your mind, but it didn't want to give too many hints to that. I love the music in Danganronpa, all of them though. They have really good tracks. I think this series has a really good, like the composer did an excellent job. Art style of course speaks for itself. Very vibrant. Anime styles are one of the features a lot of people like. But the writing is messy in a lot of areas, especially in 2. And I think it's because they were trying to evolve this game into a series. And then when it became a series, they realized they didn't like that, and so they went with Danganronpa V3, where they're like, hey, this is a series, but it's a series that a lot of people like, and if you like it, you're dumb. And a lot of people are like, I don't like that ending. It seems a little on the nose. It's like, we're not talking about you, we're talking about people just like you. So we're kind of talking about you. But yeah, the pace and the amount of side stuff you do in Danganronpa 2, in my opinion, wasn't that great. But to each their own, some people love it. I need to stop hitting melee when I mean to switch weapon. Okay, we're doing this. I didn't realize this DLC would have so many forced stealth segments. Not what I expected. Who's firing at me? Mind taking. Big Nips, thanks so much for joining the stream. Hopefully we can talk more. Either Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Tuesday Eastern Standard Time. Usually stream for about 3 hours. Today I'm also going to stream for about 3 hours. I still have a lot of editing to get done. I'm sure you guys would like to see Nier Automata sooner rather than later. But that at least is the core streaming schedule. I really think this test stream is going over pretty well. A lot of you guys are pretty cool. Do you understand why Dark Souls 2 is so underrated? So here... Chenzen, are you messing with me? Because I've had this Dark Souls discussion before. And I don't know if you were there for it. So, a lot of people in the Souls community kind of dump on Dark Souls 2. I, however, really like Dark Souls 2. Not necessarily for its art style, but just for the gameplay in general. Okay, so we clearly need to get energy for all this. And some people are like, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. So, understand this from my perspective. A lot of people understand when I explain this one simple thing. I have played all the Souls games purely as a mage. Pure sorcery. I've never played with a great sword. I almost never played with a shield, ever. I've never done melee. I play purely as magic and sorcery. And of course dipping into pyromancy because pyromancy is too good. And I dipped into Hex a little bit, but Hex wasn't really useful for me as a pure sorcerer. And so when you play those games as a pure sorcerer, you play that game different. Alright, we need to find where the... Oh, are they up there? Are all 4 of the containers in each of these weird things? I think that's what the game's telling me. But how do I open them? Because a lot of people are like, you die in like one hit when you fight this one boss. Like, I'm a mage. I'm only wearing clothes and things that improve my dexterity and casting time. Everything kills me in one hit. I'm constantly playing on one-hit runs. That's just how it is when you're playing a sorcerer. Alright, there's a trick here that we're not getting. Okay, so when we... Okay, I see. I see.
We need another power core.
Okay, I get the trick now. Yeah, so each of these things, okay, we have to take the towers one by one, is what the game's asking us to do. Get closer so I can mind control you. Alright, now go distract the boss for me. What am I missing? Oh. What's up, boss? What's up, minion? Have you ever played Final Fantasy XIV? I have not. Here's the thing, though. I actually own Final Fantasy XIV and have I have the Shadow Keep, not Shadow Keep, that's Destiny. The Shadowbringers expansion and the first couple expansions, and I've not played a single minute. I am, however, collaborating with somebody who's played Final Fantasy XIV, and is doing me a solid favor for another side project that I'm doing. Oops. I saw you, Darkness Man. Get out of here. Oh, do we got a floaty man out there? I think we do. Look at this glass shattering. It's so cool how everything just breaks. And look how dynamic it is. Nothing shatters the same way. It's so freaking cool. This game's physics are so good. That's the reason why it also gets chunky if there's too much stuff broken. Okay. Alright, where's the Dark Man?
Where's the switch?
Let there be light. I would play Black Mage. I would play Black Mage. I hear Black Mages are pretty good on the DPS in 14. Even though I like to play support, believe it or not. As much as I like playing Black Mages and having that firepower, I actually prefer to play support. Do we have anybody in here who's pretty experienced in CCGs? Or just plays any 1 or 2 card games a lot in general? Especially the ones that I mentioned. Gwent, Pokemon, or Magic. Even if you play other ones like Card Fight or 5 Rings or anything like that, I'm okay with that. I just want to know who in here plays a lot of CCG. Because I have questions to ask. And I want to make a CCG, but I also want to make one that doesn't suck. But I also have no idea because I'm not as experienced and proficient as other people are. So did we finish this area? I think it's saying that we finished the area. Because it wants us to go to the Fra Mauro AWE. You play a few, but you're not an experienced player? No, you don't have to be good. As long as you are familiar with the systems, like how to play them. Because to me, one of the core obstacles I'm having is feature overload, where I'm like, oh, I think it'd be cool to have this feature, and then this feature, and then it's like, no, no, no. Too complicated is not fun. It needs to be complex enough to where there's depth in the game, but it can't be so complex that you need to have an encyclopedia to learn how to play it. That's not fun. Like I said, elegance and simplicity. Keep numbers small. I don't want randomization elements. At first I thought about having a dice throwing thing, but I'm like, that's never fun. Who wants dice throwing? that has been the best strategy to use against those dudes. Raise a shield and then bash them to death. Is there something in this corner? We were here before. Man, really? Did you watch Noragami? I have not seen Noragami. What is Noragami? Is that an anime? Is that a card fight game? Oh, chest. One thing I can say is most games have a one-turn win card or a card that just guarantees a win if a player fulfills a certain criteria. I certainly don't want that. Having different win conditions is actually something I want to do. Where I want to have at least 2 different ways to win. Because I find that I like that in strategy games that I've played, where you don't just win by like military victory. You can win, like say in Civ, you can win with science, or you can win with culture, or you can win with global domination, you can win by organizing a peace treaty with everyone. There's so many different options of winning. I want to have that, where there's not like 10 different ways to win, but there are at least 2. Where I can pursue this manner of winning, or I can pursue this other manner of winning. And by that I don't mean card milling, where it's like, oh, well, you win if the other person runs out of cards, or something like that. I don't want that. Although maybe I should, just to be safe. Have at least one of those. It's an anime? Is it a good anime? What's it about? Pitch it to me. Pitch it to me for elevator pitch time. Oh my god, there's this whole nother map part we haven't even come close to looking at. This expansion is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a 3-hour expansion. This expansion is longer than Miles Morales. Do we have any side quests that we should be doing? And I don't even have to turn into a toaster to do it. Alright, let's see. So we still have these side quests. Find mold, shine line in the plant. I may have to just look at videos on YouTube on where those are, because ain't got time to be looking for every single one of these things. But I do want to do them because they always give you good rewards. Alright, really fast, I'm going to take a quick break. Everyone stay hydrated, but I need to take a quick refreshment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. say it's a good anime. It's basically a story about a messenger god who kills monsters in order to gain fame. He also accidentally brings in a human into his troubles by accident. Tell you what, I will add it to my to-watch list. I have a very long to-watch list. Not just of anime, but of like Netflix shows and movies. It frustrates my friends in real life to no end how behind I am on certain media. But it's like, guys, you gotta understand, I can't just binge watch a whole season of anime. I could be using those hours to write or get footage or anything like that. Like, I'm so bad at overworking and pacing myself. I'm aware of that. But that doesn't mean I eventually won't watch this. What is it? Noragami? Noragami. Alright. Saved. Alright. So another thing I want, Shenzhen, is I don't want to have a system, because one of the things I didn't like in most Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon does this a lot, I don't like it, is almost all the major strategies involve lots of card searches. And so most of the game is spent waiting for a dude to go through his whole deck to find the 1 or 2 cards to turn into his giant ace monster to win the fight. I don't like that, so I don't want to have that. I don't want to have it where I want to have monster, like a monster fight, but I don't want to have it where you have to wait on a champion monster to be your ace killer, and or you spend most of your deck fumbling through it and shuffling through it to find a couple cards you need. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I want to really, if possible, not have any card search at all. There's no card search. It's totally luck of the draw. I do want to have a thing where you can, because of the nature of the premise, you need to be able to evolve a base unit into a more advanced unit. You need to be able to do that. But I don't want it to where, like, oh, this champion unit can just carry the entire game. The entire point is I need to draw my champion unit. It's not what I'm all about. And also, the 6 different ways you can summon units in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just, I don't want anything that complicated. Some of them are cool, but some of them are so complicated. I do like a lot of the conditional effects that are existent in Yu-Gi-Oh! Though, where it's like, if this existing condition is here and it's met, then you get this extra ability. I like that, but I don't necessarily know if I want to incorporate that into my game. I'll tell you the story of how my idea and how I want to build a CCG came into existence. So it started with an editorial article I was writing, which is 5 dumb things gamers say that are completely wrong. That was basically the premise of it. That may or may not have been the official title. There's nothing else over here, is there? I think we really have to go to the other part of the... I think we're done with this section. And so I started looking then at, is it really a unique argument among gamers, or is it just the logical fallacies they use? And so I started looking into that. And then I started looking into how people like to argue and like the hundreds of different logical fallacies there are that people typically use, not just for persuasion, but also for just winning arguments. And then I started seeing so many ways that people cluster in the same personality types that they argue that I ended up in my mind thinking like, haha, this kind of reminds me of like a red deck Magic player. Just aggro, burn down, win the conversation as much as possible. And eventually I started kind of framing in my mind this analogy of, what if we have... Because there are debate games out there, but I can't really think of, or at least I tried looking it up to shamelessly steal from, if there are any debate-based CCGs, because they're debate-based card games, but they give you topics and you're supposed to debate. But what if it was a Battle Monster card game with the premise of winning an argument? And your units are the different logical fallacies that you use. I'm going to come up with a cooler, smoother, maybe sexier way of putting that, but that's kind of the premise for now. It's a CCG based on the premise of winning an argument, with very stupid arguments. All right, enjoy your dinner. Average viewer, I know it's like it's hard to, because you know you want to have draw power, but draw power is so crucial. But that's what I also loved about, like, say, Gwent. Gwent was fast and it was quick and the concept was simple. Draw power was still powerful in it, but it wasn't necessarily the break for it. And you did technically have card searches, because if you played monsters, you could attract monsters directly out of the deck onto the field. So I may not be able to avoid it, but at least want to minimize it. Sounds good if you add an anime to it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the Genshin Impact thing, where I take a concept such as exploitative loot boxing and shamelessly stealing from better games, which honestly all card games and games are based off of, just taking from each other and evolving it, and just add waifus to it, and we'll just call it a day. I'll put it on the Apple Store and just rake it in. I think we go to active investigations. Yeah, no, we go here, because the other one was the opposite. Don't use that during the pitch meeting? I mean, maybe. The tentative name of my game, please don't steal it, is Debation. And the phrase I like to use to talk about it is, arguments are never resolved, they're only survived. Oh wait, I was at active investigations. Where's the hallway? Is this the elevator I take? There's no effective map in this game. But originally I was going to make a video making fun of people and how they argue in very dumb ways and relating it in a card game format. But in making that script, I was basically designing a card game anyway. Debation sounds close to... I don't know what you're talking about. If you want to be a master debater, then that's just one of the things you're going to do. I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't sound like anything suggestive.
Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming.
But yeah, a survival mode in Ace Attorney game. You know what? That's a good way to pitch it as an elevator pitch. Survival mode card game in like Ace Attorney in a way. And it is true, you will have things like that, like interrupts. For example, like you have Red Deck, which are basically people that like to end an argument as soon as possible. They also like directly attacking the other person, not necessarily their actual units or the argument itself. So they would be the type of people, like Red Deck users in Magic, who directly go for direct health pool damage. Then you have green players who are all about might makes right. They're the type of people who love to back up their arguments with, oh, well, this crowd of people think it's right, or I have this echo chamber behind me, or this lynch mob or witch hunt that I can basically bring to the field and just devour and steamroll whatever argument you have. I could drown you out with numbers. That's a green deck player. And then you have blue deck players. Everybody has these type of people. They're the type of people who love to do the traps and the counters. They're the people that do the technically or the actually. Those are those people. Those are blue deck players. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That's a blue deck player. They love to use the word hypocrite too. Yellow deck players, those are people that love to evade the argument. They're all about dodging, evasion, tricking you with your own words, gaslighting you. They may be emotionally withdrawn, not playing by your own pace. They're there to like mix up and interrupt and stagger the other people. That's how they play. They dodge, they deny, they distract, they defend. They dip, duck, dodge, deny, distract, and dodge. They do that. They play the victim card. Those are yellow deck players. Then you have the black deck players. Black deck players are the people who are just, they're considered the most toxic, I would say, but I would say a better way of describing them would be cynical. They're the people that are always right. They have this invalidation strategy. They win by attrition. If they can outlast the other person in argument, they consider that a win. They are willing to cut off their own foot to win an argument. They believe in victory at any cost. They will argue, and they're the type of people that like to resurrect dead arguments too. They will bring up crap from years ago and bring it up in an argument. Arguments you thought were dead and buried. They will bring it back up and bring it to the forefront. That is a black deck player. And then you have the white deck player. Those people are the passive aggressives. Those are the people that love to just invalidate your argument. They don't want to argue on your front. They try to play like, oh, I'm so cool about this. You're not getting under my skin. They're very nihilistic. They just try to like throw your argument away, or they try to sabotage your argument and just act like it's a non-issue. They try to equalize everything. It's like, oh, well, this issue isn't as important as this other issue, or this issue could be so much worse, so, like, it could have been worse, so therefore there shouldn't be any negative consequences. Those are those people. That's a white deck player, where they believe that precedence is evidence. Actually, that's a pretty good slogan, precedence is evidence. So you see what I'm talking about? How the different type of thoughts and mindsets between how people argue kind of fit a trading card, or not trading card, because there's no trading here. They kind of fit that CCG template pretty well. Like these are factions. They're literally built-in factions. The social organization people have in arguments. I also understand that the game is giving me, it's giving me explanations about stuff I wasn't paying attention to, so I have no idea what Lynx is talking about now. I've completely ignored all the exposition. But yeah, like, tell me that doesn't sound kind of interesting, or at the very least very relatable. Yeah, Debation is the working title. Phoenix, I might change that, we'll see. But yeah, I 100% was using that analogy as a discussion point to make fun of other people, myself included. Like, if you were to ask me, well, based on that criteria, what kind of deck do I play with? I'm probably a blue deck player. I'm very much the type of person to play word judo, and I allow you to strike me first so I can reverse and counter whatever you just did on me. That's how I prefer to talk about things. And remember, none of these decks are nice. It's not about being nice. It's about winning. I'm joking, sort of. I don't know, not really. Whoa, hello. But yeah, for now I'm calling it Debation. And until we come up with a cooler name, but Project Debation is what I'm calling this. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. What I kind of want to have happen is there are 3 types of units in Debation. And it's based on the 3 types of arguments one can make, which is Ethos, Pathos, Logos. I'm calling it EPL for short. But yeah, based on, it's either EP or L. Those are the 3 types of arguments you can have. And so each of those factions will have their own EP and L units, and each of those factions have a strength in one of those units as well, and a weakness in another, and a kind of middling in the other, which fits perfectly, because if you have 3 types, it fits across 6 in distinct ways. What's the word for that? Permutations? Yeah, there's 6 permutations. 7 if you count 0, but we're not counting 0. And the more I kept thinking about it, I'm like, I think this is a viable game. I think this is a game that we can actually make fun. Because I wanted to use it to make fun of other people. But I think this actually might be an actually fun game, in my opinion. So, that's where I'm going with this. I don't know. Has nothing to do with the original evolution or argument. And it may even be mean-spirited, but that's kind of the tongue-in-cheek joke as well. If anything, I'm making fun of myself with this too. Ooh, shield boost 70%. I am using shield a lot now. It seems like we resolve fights in here like very fast, or we lose very fast. The problem is when you die in this game, you lose 10% of your total wealth. So for me, I would be losing like 16,000 whatever units those are. 16,000 raindrops. I wish I kept more of these. Health recovery on launch hit, because in the last expansion you used launch constantly. But in this one it seems like shielding is kind of what we're supposed to be doing. I am using Seize a lot, but I don't want to use it over energy recovery speed. The only reason I'm not throwing this out is because it's a level 6. That's the only reason I'm not throwing it out. I should get the Seize speed. 117% Seize. That's literally reducing it in half. I should consider using that. But I don't know, when I already use Seize, I'm kind of in an area or in a zone or a spot where I do have that window. It hasn't become an issue yet. Ground Slam. I never use Ground Slam. Get out of here. Holy crap, that's a huge jump. 28% to 44%. That is huge. Man, these level 6 mods are no joke. Okay. Alright, so we need light. Here's light. Did chat freeze or is nobody just talking? I can't tell. I think everybody walked away when we were like, wow, that idea was really stupid. How are we doing on time? Alright, I'll stream for about 10 more minutes because I like to keep things within 10 minutes. And I also want to eat lunch. And it's late in the afternoon. So we may just call it after this short area here. This was just a test stream anyway. But I didn't realize this expansion was so large, so I might end up playing more of it tomorrow. In fact, I will. Who am I kidding? Damn, bro. Thank you for confirming that chat didn't leave me. I think I scared everyone off with my debation talk. I swear, guys, it seems like a fun idea. It's just a prototype right now. It's nowhere near done. I don't even know how the battle mechanics work. It's just an idea. Just think about the future. Wow, slug shotgun. Way better. I'm impressed. You have dust all over your hands? I understand. So I was also looking at tools on how to make a CCG. Epic, at one point they gave it away for free, but I'm too late. I'd have to spend $50 for the license. But they actually literally have a workshop, a toolkit to make your own CCGs. And I'm like, golly, that's exactly what I would like, but I would have to learn Unreal. Oh, come on. Ah. That was sloppy of me. That was way too sloppy. I wish you could suck the health out of everyone that you mind controlled. That'd be a cool ability. Welcome back, Shenzhen. I'm going to play till the next save point, and then I'm going to call it for the day so that way I can eat something. Because all you guys are enjoying eating stuff, and I want to eat something too. Sometimes the easiest solution in this game is just throw a rock at it. You know? Just throw a rock on it. Don't get complicated. Don't worry about dodging, parrying, raising shields, dashing. Just throw a rock at it. Sometimes the simplest solution is best. New mission, Shoom. We got a side quest now. Find and interact with the arcade machine interactive item. Well, I don't know where that is. So let me go back to my regular scheduled. However, we got a side quest to work with now. There's a haunted arcade machine. Hearing the Rhapsody recap still brings a tear to my eye of how good it was made. Brings a tear to my eye too of how awful and how apparently able I am to embarrass myself in front of the world. I actually prepared. Oh, here it is. The arcade. No, that's not it. I prepared and practiced that little song so many times and did so many takes, and that was legitimately my best effort. And even I recognize it's not good. I still love the idea though, so I'm not embarrassed to say like, oh, I hate doing it. Nah, I had fun trying it. I knew I at least wanted to try it. It's just fun. Just having fun. You gotta have fun. There we go. I knew there's something you have to melt with this. Speaking of, now that we're slowly getting into how to play this game again, this game has always been fun. Golly, I love Control. I don't like what Control did recently because I own the Season Pass. That's the reason why I'm playing this on my last gen console. I own the Season Pass, but I cannot play this on the new gen console because I'd have to re-buy everything for the Complete Edition. It doesn't let me play the expanded content I paid for on the new gen system, which is shenanigans. And a lot of people want to blame Remedy, perhaps so, but you have to remember, in between Remedy making Control and the most recent advents, they were bought over by Epic. So they're now technically part of Epic. Oh no. Where's my flashlight? So I can't help but feel and suspect that was an epic decision. Even though it wasn't a very epic maneuver. What happened to the flashlight that I had? Where'd it go? Reset itself. But yeah, that's just, it's nowhere near done. You know, I'm just telling you guys about the premise of it. I will make a mock-up of it. Oh, it ate my flashlight. Really, game? There's gotta be a way to get a flashlight going in there. Once I get like a prototype going, because I haven't even figured out how like the field looks and what units do and all that, like any of that. Yep, it kills it. Okay, so they literally just don't want you to bring a flashlight in here. Then I will let you guys know the progress of it. But for right now, be aware that among the other many projects I'm doing, I'm working on designing Devation. Oh, there's the other save point. Okay. So we'll wrap up here soon. Let me see if there's anything else to do in this room. As I half rhyme. But yeah. Greg, remind me, my memory is failing me. Do you go by a different name on a different platform that I know you by? Because I know Umbra over there, and I know Enforces Chenzin, and I just prefer to call him Chenzin, because I've known him as Chenzin longer. But I can't help but feel, it's like, wait, that name is so familiar. I know I've seen that name, but it's something else somewhere else. If I'm forgetting horribly, sorry. I apologize. Am I supposed to move this train up and down the tracks to shine it on those doors and objects? I get the feeling I'm supposed to. But if you just want me to call you Greg, I can call you Greg. Not a deal. Not a big deal. Okay. Anyway. This has been a test stream, but it's still going to go up during the... If you ever want to rewatch this, and you can have chat enabled too, one cool feature about this, I guess, is you can also check... There's a section of the channel page. It's called... where is it? But I think after this, there's going to be a section of the pages, not just videos, playlists, community, all that sort of stuff. But I believe there's going to be a section now called Live. Cosmio or Bradiel? No, I guess not. Alright, I'm going to just call you Greg then. If you don't mind. But there's going to be a live section, so if you want to watch a replay of this or see it in the future, there will be a live section. This will not necessarily replace OBM Plays, because if for any reason I'm still recording this and I'll still upload it and mirror it to that site, because for any reason YouTube decides to axe this or strike this video because we say the F-bomb too many times, or somebody says something contentious or whatever, then I can kill this video, but it's still live somewhere else on a side channel. So I will mirror upload this, but you can watch the original playthrough of this on the new section thing that opens up live. I don't know, this is all new. Like I said, this is all a test. Some feedback I would like from anybody in chat today. You call me what? Chenzin. Aren't you Chenzin, Enforcer? Isn't that you? No. No. Somebody else is Chenzin. You're not Chenzin, Enforcer. I'm sorry. I confused you with someone else. My memory's terrible, and we're mixing up different formats. So some people on Discord and some people on Twitch have different IDs here on YouTube, and so I am mixing up some names and faces. So please bear with me. I apologize. I don't mean to step on any toes. I'll just call you Enforcer if it's easier that way. But Umbra, I will still call you Umbra. It's just, I think, easier for both of us. Alright, so how did the volume sound between me talking unnecessarily loud and fast about stuff that doesn't matter, and the balance of the game volume? Was it okay? Were there any strange internet hiccups? I noticed the frame drop is really low, so there shouldn't have been any drops. But the thing seems smooth. Everything seems good. Mic check, tech checks, everything seems alright. I think then we're ready for the real debut. Last of Us 2 didn't count. Last of Us 2 was a behind the scenes, here's how I make a recap. This is the process. Also, please stop shouting to me about stuff that doesn't matter. And honestly, there's a lot of cool people here. I throw my arms open and welcome everyone here, especially members like Enforcer and Chenzin. Thank you so much for your patronage. I really appreciate you. And because I'm so stupid and I didn't recognize this earlier, every video going forward, there will be a second page right before or right after the patron. Will be patron, and then it will be, because patron's been around longer, patron, and then all you wonderful, beautiful YouTube members out there who have subbed to me that way, you guys get your own special spot in the credits page. So I apologize for not checking my community tab at all in the past year, to not be aware that you guys were being cool and supporting me in different ways that were more accommodating to your interests. So it's a very belated but very sincere thank you. Please accept my apologies, and I'll have that. Nobody left behind. There we go. No fan disappointed, hopefully. Game is a volume touch too low. You can hear your mouse wheel. Okay. So you can hear this. If you hear that, then damn, this mic is too close to the mouse. Because here's what it is. I have my mouse is on my right-hand side, keyboard, and then the mic is on the left-hand side of the keyboard. So you hear the really clacky keys. It's because the mic is right next to the keyboard. I also have deliberately clacky keys because I like clacky keys. I do not apologize for that. So you can hear that. Wow, man, this is the mic that I used to record recap. I didn't realize it was so damn sensitive that it can hear the mouse wheel that way. Crazy. And you can hear my deep breaths. At the very least, you can hear my heavy sighs. That's nothing new. Just be glad I'm not eating while streaming. No disrespect to anybody that does, and there are plenty of people that I do respect that still do it. I don't prefer it. I can't stand when I'm watching a streamer eat. That is... I don't know. I don't like watching people eat in general unless you're like friends, family, or loved ones. I don't like watching you eat. I'm here to eat my meal. I don't like to look at you while you are eating. That is not entertainment to me. Please do not eat in front of a mic. You know, don't do that. Oh my god. OBM ASMR version? Yeah, I know, right? Hey guys, I'm going to be clicking my keyboard. And I'm going to be rolling this mouse. Go to sleep. Buy my t-shirt. Play my CCG when I come out with it. Stop asking for recaps of MMOs. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright, thank you everybody that took the time, jumped in earlier or jumped in later during this test stream. I think this was a significantly more positive experience. I think I was just letting bad experiences in the past dictate how I was going in the future. I'm having so much fun. I'm meeting lots of new people. I think we're going to meet even more new people. And I really appreciate the experimentation with the content filter, my voice filter apparently, and probably boosting the volume of this. Granted, Control is kind of a quiet game, but if it's too quiet, then... Oops. Tapped the wrong thing there. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to stop for today. We are going to pick this up tomorrow. More Control, more DLC. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The regular schedule is Sunday and Tuesday. If you're not able to make it, miss you, wish you were here. In the future, I may still move to a midday one. I used to do a midday on Wednesdays. I may or may not do that in the future. Schedule is a little wonky. Still got to get stuff done. But please look forward to the next recap. Ask any questions you want. And yeah, let's have fun. Moving forward onto a new battlefield. I'm Oni Black Mage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next battlefield.